representative of the Agarthan network and the light forces, he strives to prepare humanity for the up-and-coming event horizon. Our intention is to dissipate fear, clear up any misunderstandings, and add insights into what is really happening behind the daily headlines. For more background, you are invited to read his blog archive totaling 759 entries to this date.
Welcome back, Cobra, to our September Intel update. I thought we'd talk a little bit about remote viewing. You're familiar with remote viewing, right, Cobra?
Yes.
Okay, there's a very interesting project going on by the Farsight Institute. It's called the Time Cross Project, and they have remote viewers in 3 different locations around the world, and these people do a private session by themselves, and they videotape themselves doing these sessions, and they, about the middle of the month before the month that they are remote viewing, they do this session, and they see what kind of perceptions that they can get from these sessions, and they record it, and they have a whiteboard, and they sketch what it is they see. Cobra, can you give us a definition of remote viewing?
Remote viewing is, I would say, one aspect of extrasensory perception when you can see in your inner eye images of distant objects and situations and places. By distant, it can be distant in space or distant in time. Remote viewing uses the principles of quantum entanglement to higher dimensional planes, and the accuracy of this depends on the training of the individual that is doing this.
Well, this particular project is called the Time Cross Project, and we will leave a link in our description, in our transcript, and anyone who wants to look this up, it's quite interesting. We're going to go with some questions to start off, Cobra, that are things that everybody wants to know about. The first question I have, this person asks, will the event change the negative races that eat humans and are very hostile towards humans?
Yes, of course. The event is the final beginning of the end of darkness, and at the moment of the event, all negative beings that don't want to change into positive will be taken to the central sun. So it will be the final filtering of negativity in this universe. So this is the game over.
Yay.
Cobra, are you familiar with the Council of Five?
There are many councils of 5, 9 different numbers, and with different people associate different ideas with it. So I would not be too specific here.
Okay, thank you.
Has there been any progress regarding the toplet bombs?
Yes, of course, there was quite much progress in this area, and the progress has been such that the Chimera group lost a little bit of nerve in the beginning of September, and they wanted to trigger full-scale, the last remnant of the full-scale galactic war in the solar system, and they were not successful. Although September was quite a challenging month, their goals were absolutely not reached.
Wonderful.
Cobra, in this final open war going on in our solar system, are most battles happening in 3D or 4D? Or?
I would say the majority of battles are happening on the plasma plane, not so much happening on the physical plane, at least not visibly.
Great, thank you.
In which dimension do the Chimera reside?
Most of them are on the physical plane, or I would say many of them are on the physical plane, and some of them are on the non-physical planes as well.
Thank you.
Cobra, you mentioned before that the central race is in a higher density than us. Are they at the same density as Palladians or reptilians?
No, the central race is 7th and up dimension, as I would term it, and the Palladians are 5th and 6th dimension, and the reptilians are the 4th dimension.
All right. So how do the Chimera fight the central race?
They fight it because they are manipulating the primary anomaly, and nobody in this universe has a complete understanding of the primary anomaly, and they are taking advantage of that fact.
Got it. Thank you.
Cobra, can you give us an update on the situation with the Demiurge Yaldabaoth?
As this, I would say, the final leg of the galactic conflict in the solar system is playing out, the plasma body of the Yaldabaoth is being dissolved slowly.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Cobra, are the cracks in the veil still the same, or are they evolving?
Actually, one purpose of this escalation in September was to close the cracks in the veil, and this has been partially successful. So the light forces are reactivating the light grid in this area to reactivate those cracks in the veil again. And this process will take some time.
Got it. Thank you.
It seems like the most powerful factions of the Dark Ones are from the Andromeda Galaxy. Is this right, Cobra?
Yes, that's correct.
Did the fallen angels come from this galaxy or some other part of our galaxy?
Some of them came actually from the Andromeda Galaxy, but many of them also came from this galaxy, especially from the Orion region.
Thank you.
Cobra, can you clarify the difference between the Andromeda Galaxy and the Andromeda Constellation?
Andromeda Galaxy is a spiral galaxy, which is the twin galaxy to our own galaxy, the Milky Way, and the Andromeda constellation is one of many constellations that we can see from our sky as seen from Earth. And most stars, I would say the vast majority of stars in the Andromeda constellation belong to our galaxy, and Andromeda Galaxy is beyond all those stars in the same line of sight.
Oh, got it. Thank you.
Are we getting help from the positive Andromedans?
Yes, of course, quite much.
Thank you.
Cobra, what happened in 1996 that allowed the Archon invasion of the Congo? Was there a war that ordinary humans know nothing about?
Actually, there was a quite visible war. There was the Rwanda genocide 1 year before, and it was laying the groundwork of the preparation for opening the negative portal. It was quite intense, I would say. It was a huge genocide with almost, I think, 1 million people died at that time. 1 year before, or shall we say around a year before, the Archon invasion in 96.
Wow, so when this Congo portal opened, negative entities started coming through it?
Yes.
Where were they coming from?
Mostly there were reptilian entities coming from one sector of this galaxy, and some of them also from the Andromeda Galaxy. Most of them were coming from the Orion sector, when there was quite much clearing of the Orion was happening through that portal.
Thank you. Okay, so we're going to start talking about the presidential elections. Cobra, you mentioned there may not be a U.S. election this fall. Is this possible that both Hillary and Trump will self-destruct and open the door for someone else?
Okay, the timeline when the election does not happen, the possibility of that timeline has decreased. And most likely there will be an election, and the situation is quite complex, and at this point, many things are possible. Hillary, Trump, or somebody else.
Okay, what do you see happening?
I see a lot of chaos, unpredictability, and I think the whole thing is a big distraction.
Gotcha. Thank you very much.
Well, Cobra, many people have asked about Hillary Clinton this month, and they want to know if she's dead or if she's a clone.
She's very much alive. She has health problems, but she's alive.
Hillary Clinton clearly has health problems, but there is much discussion on exactly what they are, as she has multiple symptoms. Has your intel given you any indication what these health problems are? And did she really have a brain injury and brain damage from a nearly fatal plane crash in 2012, as has been recently reported by WikiLeaks? Or does she have Parkinson's or Lyme disease?
Actually, there is both. She has Parkinson's, and there was also quite much of a brain damage from that plane crash. It's a complex, I would say many symptoms are complex manifestation of her health problems that resulted in her lifestyle and her focus on negativity. And all the help of the cabal to maintain her health was not enough.
Thank you.
Cobra, you have said Trump is a Jesuit agent? If he is a Jesuit, yes. What part of the cabal does he work for? And why does the cabal seem to be against him?
He works for the Jesuits. Actually, The Jesuits are creating the game as usual, that they are presenting him for him to appear that he's against the establishment, against the cabal, when in reality he is just part of the other faction of the cabal that is not working so publicly and is working behind the scenes.
So if Trump is a Jesuit agent and Hillary represents the Bush, Rockefeller, Clinton faction, then are we actually watching a battle between the two factions?
There is a certain amount of conflict between both factions, but from Jesuits' perspective, it doesn't matter who of them wins, because one way or the other, they can further their agenda.
Gotcha, thank you.
The United States public is basically in a no-win situation for the 2016 election because of the lack of good presidential candidates. While it has been like this for a half a century since the assassination of John F. Kennedy, Trump has said recently that if he was elected, he would give his full support to Israel and that he would recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. He is obviously an outspoken Zionist and therefore just another Rothschild puppet. Is he going to be allowed by the light forces to become president of the U.S. if he wins the November 16th presidential election?
As I have said before, it does not matter who gets elected because this is just the public puppet for the cabal. What is important is the whole situation needs to be, there needs to be a breakthrough in the form of event, and then it doesn't matter who is the president. Before the event, whoever is the president will be a puppet of the cabal. Either Obama right now, either Bush before, or the new one that is coming in November. It does not matter.
Cobra, it is said that if the U.S. military stops the November presidential election because of a lack of suited, competent candidates, one of the ideas they are contemplating as an alternative is placing Canadian president as the leader of the North American Union. Do you see this as a possibility?
No, I do not. This is not going to happen.
Great, thank you.
Cobra, a while back you answered a question about Eric Holder being hit by stardust and he needed to be hospitalized. Is there any chance that this could have happened to Hillary?
Not yet, but I will not say that it will not happen in the future if that is necessary.
Okay. Is the cabal distancing themselves from Hillary with all these issues that have occurred lately?
They are doing damage control. The Rockefeller faction wants to save that presidency, that candidacy, but they might not be successful. I will not comment how this will evolve in the future. They still have some hopes for Hillary to win. And you might get some surprises in the next, I would say, few weeks. There might be sudden changes in direction in many aspects of the situation.
The polls in anticipation of the U.S. election show Trump and Hillary running very even. Do you think this is true?
Yes, it is true. But again, I would say do not put too much attention and energy into this election. It's a distraction.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Cobra, we keep hearing about martial law being instituted in the United States, but you said it would never happen. Is this still your view on the subject?
I have already answered this question. It will not happen.
Great, thank you.
Not in the way that people are asking this question.
Could you elaborate on that?
When the event happens, it can appear that the martial law has been initiated, but it will actually be the event and the mass arrest of the cabal.
Thank you very much.
Banks keep getting away with financial terrorism, and their crimes go unpunished. They print large amounts of money from nothing, cross-collateralize their bad loans with all the other crooked banks, and even create large amounts of money, writing cashier's checks to themselves and depositing those same freshly written cashier's checks in their own banks. How do these entities, who are the main financiers of all evil, ever going to run out of cash if they are still being allowed to keep doing these massive financial frauds? What is the resistant movement going to do about this?
They will trigger the event when the time is right, and believe me, they are running out of cash. The cabal needs more cash than it is getting. That's why they're so desperate. They need a few billion each day to maintain the quarantine.
Wow.
I'm glad to hear that.
Cobra, it's said that all power has been taken away from Obama by the military, and that he does not have any more to say or power in the White House or as the president of the U.S. It is said that he is only there for show, and others within the military are calling all the shots. Is this true?
As I said, the current president is always just a puppet since the time of JFK. The president does not have any real power, and the ones who are having the real power is the cabal and the military-industrial complex.
Okay, so the positive military has no effect on him anyways.
A little bit, but not enough.
Gotcha, thank you.
Cobra, if the coup in Turkey on July 15th was led by the light forces, and if Russia is supposedly siding and fighting on behalf of the light forces, why did they hide and protect Erdogan while the coup was happening, and why did they help President Erdogan get back into power?
I don't see where Russia was supporting Erdogan. I don't agree with that statement.
Okay.
Cobra, is the U.S. Federal Collection Agency, also known as the Internal Revenue Services, or IRS, still actively stealing money from the people of the United States?
Yes, of course. Isn't this obvious?
Yes. So why is this still being allowed by the military if it is only filling the pockets of the top members of the cabal?
People need to realize that before the event, the whole circus will go as usual. There will not be drastic changes before the event.
So the whole talk of the Federal Reserve System being shut down October 1st is not true then?
No, it's not true.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Cobra, let's take a little break here.
Okay.
PayPal takes a chunk of money up front before depositing the remainder into an account. Although this method of money transfer is convenient, it is also costly when we are attempting to send as much money as possible to our brothers and sisters in Malawi. I would like to request that if you wish to help with the Feed Malawi project or donate to Prepare for Change, please send a check or money order to this address: 4530 Whittier Boulevard, Los Angeles, California, 90022. Please put a notation that it is for Prepare for Change, use the initials PFC, or Malawi. Thank you for your help. Is it true that the organization known as the Republic of the United States is now in power in the U.S. instead of the old United States Incorporated? Cobra, can you tell us a little bit more about this?
Okay, the answer is no, and I think this is obvious. When the real republic, and I'm not speaking about that particular abbreviation, I'm speaking about the real republic, will be in place, it will be very, very much evident. And there will be no doubt about it.
So do you think we'll have to wait until the event for that to occur?
Exactly.
Okay.
It is all coinciding with the event. It's part of the event.
Got it.
Cobra, is the RV set to go this week?
The answer is no.
Thank you. When the financial reset is taking place, will all the global debt be fully erased, including credit card, home loans, and student loans?
Student loans, yes, and most of credit card also, yes.
How about home loans?
The vast majority of them, yes.
Are the light forces behind Satoshi Nakamoto, the founder of Bitcoin?
Actually, yes, the Bitcoin was one of the projects of the light forces to create another dent in the matrix.
Very nice, thank you.
There is a lot of chatter about the financial reset and currency revaluation, or RV, everywhere on the internet. Is it a possibility that we can entertain, or that you can tell us about the substance behind all of these RV commotion currently going on over the internet now?
Okay, I would say that unfortunately the vast majority of so-called intel now in alternative media is not reliable.
Are the rumors that the time of the financial reset, the U.S. dollar will be devalued around 50% of its current value?
Yes, that is quite a big possibility that at the time of the event, the US dollar will be quite significantly devalued.
Cobra, what can you tell us about the Russians making peace with Japan and what we can expect from these negotiations between the Russian Federation and the still-controlled Cabal Japan?
Russia has a policy of maintaining peace with all its neighboring countries and promoting balanced growth and balanced relations, and this is part of the same process.
Got it. Thank you.
It just came out on the website Veterans Today that Israel used a nuclear bomb in Yemen. Why are the light forces permitting the use of nuclear devices after you said in the past that the use of these highly advanced nuclear devices would no longer be allowed to be used on war against humanity?
Okay, the nuclear weapons which are being used have a very low yield, which is equal or lower than conventional bombs. And I would say that the light forces are challenging the patience of the light forces to go as far as they can get away with. And they are always dancing on this border quite drastically. So this is what is happening.
Wow.
Thank you.
Cobra, it looks like there are some ongoing changes in the direction Germany is taking, possibly away from the Cabal. This may be reason why the political party of current Germany Chancellor Angela Merkel represents a loss of power in the last elections. What is really happening in Germany?
Okay, there are two main factions in Germany. One is pro-Cabal and one is beginning to realize that that is maybe not such a good idea. And more of the, I would say, people with sanity are going against Merkel and against this association with the Cabal. And I would say there is a quite intense inner conflict in Germany taking place right now. And there are also some other things taking place that I will not disclose at this moment and that I will speak about or release in the near future.
Thank you.
Cobra, can you give us a current update on if there's negotiations going on with the Red Shields, also known as the Rothschilds financial crime family?
I would say that there are still some negotiations, but it is not as intense as it was because the Light Forces have given them a chance. The Red Shields were not quite much cooperating, and they have lost their chance at that point, so most likely they will be just removed at the time of the event. That's the most likely timeline at this moment.
Thank you.
Cobra, what do you honestly foresee as the future of the Rockefellers, Bush, Clinton crime families, known for their unique, cruel ruthlessness and violent behavior against humanity?
They will see the inside of the galactic central sun.
Wow, nice, thank you.
What is currently going on with the liquidity problem within the German Deutsche Bank?
Okay, German bank is having quite much of liquidity problems, more than they are willing to admit. But of course, the Cabal will use their tricks to suppress and cover this and pretend that it's business as usual.
Do you think they're going to be allowed to go bankrupt?
No, most likely not. Most likely they will just do some high magic and everything will be okay.
Thank you.
Cobra, what do you see as the future of the Clinton Foundation? And what can you tell us about the money laundering activity going on there for years, implicating most politicians in D.C.?
Okay, most likely the whole situation again will be suppressed and will not reach. I would not say the justice will prevail in this situation before the event.
Thank you.
For a long time, many different intelligence sources have been talking about an October surprise. What do you know about that October surprise that you can share with us today, Cobra?
Okay, October surprise is just a general term to increase the hype that something is going to happen when actually it's not going to happen. So when a real event is going to happen, it will be, it can be at any time. It does not need to be October. Everything else is just speculation.
Will the event be a surprise?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Cobra, there is a report going around that Russia recently bombed Syria. An ISIL command center filled with Israeli Mossad, Turkish military, British M16, and American CIA agents that were helping coordinate the ISIL. Is this true?
Yes.
Can you tell us how much damage was done?
Quite much. But again, then the other side retaliated, and you know that this is more and more becoming an open war when the Western countries are supporting the so-called Islamic State and Russia is against them.
Gotcha. So it was actually a positive thing that had happened.
The Russian action was positive, yes.
Great, thank you.
Cobra, will you give us an update on what is going on with the event? Has anything changed lately? Are we still expecting possible complete shutdown of public utilities and banks at the time of the event?
Nothing has changed. The plan is still the same.
Do you have any news or updates that the public should know to be prepared for the upcoming great wave from the galactic central sun?
I have nothing new to say about this. Everything has been said already.
Thank you.
Cobra, recently Puerto Rico was without electricity and in total blackout for a few days. Puerto Rico is the home of the IRS. Is this related to the blackout?
No.
Do you have any knowledge of what actually went down and why it lasted so long?
It is because the cabal is simply siphoning money off Puerto Rico, and although it is the home of the IRS, local people there have very little money. They are being robbed quite extensively by the cabal, so the basic infrastructure there is falling apart, I would say.
Thank you.
Cobra, are you familiar with the term GESARA?
To a certain degree.
Okay, this stands for the Global Economic Security and Reformation Act, and I believe it was modeled on NESARA, which is the National Economic Security and Reformation Act. And what this person wanted to know is, will GESARA become law around the world after the event?
This is one way of describing the process of financial reset at the time of the event.
Thank you.
Cobra, can you comment on how the cabal has been involved in the current negative racial activity that's been happening between police and people in the United States?
This has been actually engineered by the cabal.
It has been. Will it end anytime soon, or is it going to keep getting worse?
It's going to end at the time of the event.
Thank you.
Let's take a little break here, Cobra.
Okay.
We are increasing our collaboration with another website partner, COEO. This means to unite, assemble, meet, come together as a whole. Matt at COEO is working to improve global synchronized meditations with innovative ideas that he will initiate in the near future. COEO is a geosocial network of lightworkers, activists, change makers, and anyone who wants to collaborate towards creating a better future for all. Its primary purpose is to facilitate local connections between members with the intention of enabling the formation of meetup groups and ultimately positive social action. In addition to the geographic focus of the platform, COEO is also a place to share and collaborate on a global level. It includes many of the features you would expect to find on other social networking sites, such as Facebook. It includes posting, commenting, events, private messaging, etc., but with added focus towards the geographic connections between members. If you haven't already joined the COEO platform, please sign up at prepareforchange.coeo.cc. And for those of you who have already joined, please remember to log in regularly and actively and participate in the community, making positive connections and collaboration. Okay, our next subject is September 11th, 2001. Has been proven by so many that this was an inside job. More than 1,000 engineers have demonstrated that it was demolition, proving that it was a mini nuke. Altogether now, how can you evaporate 1,000,000 tons or more of concrete and steel and make the World Trade Center 7 collapse without any reason? I think personally that more evidence is not needed to understand that the criminals behind the attacks are still walking free and laughing at the brainwashed masses. Cobra, what really happened on 9/11?
You have just already answered this question, exactly what happened.
Do you have any extra intel to release on this 15th anniversary?
There were many things happening at that time. There was infighting of two factions within the negative military. There was a lot of activity in the secret space program, and certain things were about to be released, were planned to be released around that time. And also a lot of evidence was destroyed. It was not just a demolition of two buildings, it was a lot of things that were destroyed. And the purpose of this was to destroy that evidence.
Were the main perpetrators the Zionists and the Cabal?
Actually, the Jesuits were behind this. If you would search behind those Zionists, you would find the Jesuits.
Thank you, Cobra.
Currently in the U.S., there are hundreds of tribes from across the globe gathering peacefully in prayer, standing up to big oil money, and protecting Mother Earth against devastation, death, upheaval, and other sacred sites. Are we the seventh generation here to make changes as in the Lakota prophecy?
Actually, yes, that's a symbolic interpretation of what is going on.
Thank you.
Can you comment on President Obama's recent proclamation for National Preparedness Month for Global Catastrophes, which has been posted on the White House website on August 31st, 2016?
I would say that people in governments around the world are beginning to realize that something big is going to happen, and this is just a reflection of this mixture of fear and attempt of preparedness. They don't know exactly what will happen, but they know that something will happen. And the different factions in the governments are preparing their own way and releasing different memos in their own way.
Thank you.
Cobra, is there any part of eastern Canada that was once part of Atlantis?
A little bit, yes.
Switzerland is the area where a lot of Cabal members have their headquarters. What will happen to Switzerland after the event?
Actually, Switzerland also has a very strong positive Templar presence, which is now not quite publicly known, and all this will be, they will become public at the moment of the event, and of course the Cabal will be removed.
Does Switzerland have any vortexes or portals? Or does this country have any spiritual or occult significance?
Yes, of course, there are many portals in Switzerland, and some of those portals, we have been activating them in our conferences in the last few years. There is a very strong Pleiadian presence in Switzerland.
That's where Billy Meyer lived and had his contact with the Pleiadians.
Yes.
Cobra, the political coup of President Dilma Rousseff brought many protests in the streets, and democracy was broken in Brazil. Is the new president, Michael Temer, from the dark? Can you tell us what you know about the political situation of Brazil?
Yes, he is actually a Cabal puppet, unfortunately, and the situation in Brazil, for this reason, is getting worse.
Thank you.
This listener writes, I live in Nova Friburgo, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. We had a great tragedy here. I believe it was some type of weapon that caused the disaster. And I don't know, I looked this up, and what I found about this area was back in January of 2011. there was around 1,000 people that became homeless after torrential rainfalls triggered mudslides on the mountaintops, and 257 people died. Can you comment on this, Cobra?
Unfortunately, this is one of the many situations, and similar situations are happening around the world all the time. And it's actually a reflection of the situation of the continuation of the galactic wars, which will be here until the event.
Okay, thank you.
Cobra, with all of the negativity in Brazil right now, is there anything the people of Brazil can do to stop what's happening in their country?
To spread awareness, open blogs in Portuguese and Spanish and other languages that people speak, and spread information of what is going on.
Thank you very much.
This question is from someone in South Africa. We had a recent vote in early August, and we voted for new governance for South Africa. The current president, Zuma, will leave. He has been terrible. What do you know about the political situation in South Africa? Who controls Zuma?
Again, it is a lot of cabal control in that country, and I am not expecting this to get much better before the event.
Can you tell us any more about South Africa's past? For example, the Dutch located the East India Company there.
Yes, it's true, and there were a few of the Illuminati families that were controlling South Africa and were using especially diamond mining as one of the controlling tools, and South Africa was actually one of the major occult energy vortexes for the cabal domination, especially in one period in the 19th century. Now its importance has decreased, but still there is a lot of cabal presence there.
Why was the evil system known as apartheid in South Africa?
Because of the intensity of the cabal's presence there.
Regarding Nelson Mandela, was he a hero or was he a puppet placed there to manipulate the people?
He was a positive being that has prevented many negative things from happening.
Thank you.
Cobra, South Africa mining is a source of income for a lot of people. There are towns that only exist because of the mining in that area. Currently, the mines are struggling and a lot of people have already lost their jobs. What will happen after the event to these mining towns? Will the mining stop completely? And if so, what are the people going to do for income after?
The mining will stop almost completely, and of course people will have other venues of income and other activities that will be far more important, and of course there will be enough abundance for everybody. That will not be an issue anymore.
Great, thank you.
There is currently a huge debate going on around land claims in South Africa. After the event happens and all the borders are lifted, will people still be able to own land? How will housing and land owning be influenced?
People will still be able to own land, but they will not be so emotionally invested in this, so most of the disputes will be easily resolved, and after some time the concept of land ownership will lose its importance.
Thank you.
Cobra, what kind of role do you see smaller countries in Asia, such as Singapore, play in the financial?
Singapore is one of the strongholds of the cabal's financial system with a lot of Rothschild presence.
This question comes from Vietnam. China is very aggressive with their neighbors. Is China allowed to invade Vietnam like they did with Tibet after World War II, as part of the cabal's plan for Asia for the New World Order? Do you think Vietnam will survive this attack?
From my perspective, it is very unlikely that China will invade Vietnam at this point.
That's good news.
Cobra, recently a mayor from Turkey spoke about a big red light, a UFO, that was over Turkey, hanging over the city. This big red light was described as a star surrounded by a red light moving slowly in the sky. Then it disappeared. Do you know about this?
A little bit, yes.
Can you tell us anything
So
about
what
it?
is the question?
What was it?
It was the light forces trying to infuse some light in the situation in Turkey.
Great, thank you.
This is about Egypt. David Wilcox said recently the Egyptian gods were invading giant race. Were these Egyptians the sound of the source of the Cabal's bloodline? If not, what were the sources of the Cabal bloodlines?
Okay, the gods of Egypt have nothing to do with the Cabal and are not related to the Cabal bloodlines. Cabal bloodlines came from Babylonian Empire, which has no it is not Egypt actually.
Cobra, this listener says, Europe, Finland is ruled by negative forces and our government is against the citizens. Why is Finland like this? Does the Cabal rule Finland and what can be done about this?
It is the same in every country on the planet. Cabal has infiltrated all the governments in every country on the planet.
Thank you.
We are a very small group that voluntarily staff the Council of Prepare for Change. We meet weekly to discuss matters to improve our operation and website. It is clear to all of us that we need leadership help with various groups to improve communication among those who wish to play a part in Prepare for Change. We are more than a website, we are a community. In order to act like a community, we are seeking a select group of individuals that have leadership qualities to take charge of a select group. To start with, we would like help in the following areas: healing, social media, website optimization, and internet marketing. When these positions are filled, we will add group leaders to areas that will help develop our community so it flourishes in permaculture, renaissance, event support, Sisterhood of the Rose, and technology. We have exciting plans for the future. However, it is going to require a bigger leadership team. If you feel drawn to do something that will help to create a better future for all, I invite you to write an email to me at lynn@prepareforchange.net.
Cobra, you have said that the October Revolution in Russia was created and engineered by the Jesuits to introduce the cult of communism. Does this mean communism came from the Cabal?
Actually, the original idea of communism was distorted and manipulated in a way that suits Jesuit agenda.
So was Karl Marx, Vladimir Lenin, Joseph Stalin, Mao Zedong, Kim Il-sung, were they Cabal members or were they regular people?
Many of them, yes.
Okay. Can you comment on the revolution of 1989 in many European countries and Russia, which resulted in the fall of communist regimes?
Actually, it was the plan of the light forces because there was quite much of oppression in those countries. But there was also a counter plan by the Cabal to steal the resources of those countries which went through that revolution or through that crash. And a lot of money has been siphoned off Russia into the Cabal's coffers at that time.
Thank you.
The next questions are from Hungary. This person writes, "My heart aches when I read about cruelty to animals, those not earthly creatures like whales, dolphins, maybe even seals, elephants, etc. Isn't it possible to evacuate them to their original planet or to place them where they can heal? Is their presence absolutely necessary?"
This will happen after the event. The light forces cannot intervene on the surface of the planet completely at this moment. They need to wait for the event to happen.
Okay, thank you. And this person is also writing from Hungary. According to channeled information, the Arvisura, Arvisura, the ancient history of the Hungarians originates from the island of Atias, from the age of Atlantis, where the existing Hungarians were seed souls. The seed is the guardian of life and knowledge. What is the role of Hungarians during the event?
Okay, I would say there is a very strong, very positive white nobility Templar group in Hungary, which has a lot of influence on what's going on in that country and will become public at the time of the event. In a way, it is similar to the situation in Switzerland, where there is also a very positive, very effective positive group present. So in both countries there will be some surprises at the time of the event when certain things will become known.
They would also like to know if their ancestors really came from Sirius.
I would say that this particular group I was speaking about has origin on Sirius, and some other people also, but not the Hungarian nation as a whole.
Okay, thank you.
Cobra, in the link below, which we'll put on the bottom of the site, dated July 31st, 2016, it mentions that Cabal top echelons have been removed from the planet. Archangel Michael, Saint Germain, and the Council seems to confirm this too. Cobra, can you confirm this?
No.
No, thank you.
Archangel Michael says the humans are not ready for the shift or the ascension or the event, but it will happen anyway. Do you agree with this?
I do not agree that Archangel Michael said that.
Cobra, can you talk about what you know about the Palladians? What is their role in the Galactic Wars? We know they're spiritually advanced, but do they actually fight against other races?
They do actually fight when they fight against injustice. They are not a warrior race, but when they have to fight, they do it, and they do it efficiently.
Thank you.
Can you please tell us something about the ET race known as the lion people or feline people?
Okay, this race originates from the Sirius star system and was quite active in Earth past to, I would say, assist in the spiritual development of many nations.
Do we on Earth descend from them, or are they related to our own cats on Earth, such as our house cats or the larger cats, tigers, cougars, and lions?
They are related only that they have the same archetype, but they are not energetically related. They are not the same evolution.
Do the lion ET people communicate with our Earth cat population?
They can, and sometimes they do.
Thank you.
Cobra, do other societies or other ET groups compete in sports like we do on Earth?
Some races do have sports, but it's not in the same competitive style. It is more of I would say exercising, enjoying the movement, and having team play, things of that nature.
How else do other civilizations have fun?
They like dancing, they enjoy music, they like to travel, they have many activities. In a way, it's similar as it is happening on this planet.
Great, thank you.
Cobra, is there a civilization in Proxima B? Who are they? What do they know about us? Can we contact them?
Actually, there is a whole, the whole Alpha Centauri system is part of a one big civilization with many different races, and they will contact humanity at the time of the event.
Thank you.
Or shall we say after the event, going towards the first contact, to be more exact.
Are they human-appearing ETs?
Yes, one of those races is human-appearing.
Thank you.
Cobra, are there human-appearing ETs in Sirius?
Yes.
Is Sirius where the 144,000 came from? The Ascendant Masters? 16,000 years ago? No? Okay, thank you. Where did they come from?
Actually, Sirius was the race when a certain group came to planet Earth 16,000 years ago, but that was not 144,000. It was a very small group.
Will we know any names of these people that came from Sirius 16,000 years ago?
That's classified information at this point.
Are they still interacting with us and helping us? And
they are helping very much in different ways, and they are very much active and very much present in their own way.
Great, thank you. Cobra, can you tell us about the ancient Mayan race? I understand they existed more than 10,000 years ago. Did they leave Earth? Did they ascend? Did they go into the Earth?
Most of the Mayan race went underground in their underground civilization. They left the surface.
Are they planning on coming back?
After the event, some of them yes, and some of them has returned to the Pleiades, and some of them might be coming back towards the surface after the event.
Great, thank you.
Yao is our talented leader of the transcription team. He leads a group that translates website articles, including Cobra interviews, from English into many languages to share information all over the globe. If you are fluent in 2 or more languages, please volunteer for our transcription team. A highlight of the work these amazing translators do is the 28 languages they have currently translated for the Community Leaders Brief. This can be found in 2 places on the internet, and the addresses are in our website and our transcription. This Community Leaders Brief is a valuable resource at the time of the event, as it is a guide for community leaders to help them through the process with confidence. More about this coming soon. Cobra, the next few questions are about the event. This person is asking, at the time of the event, a person has recently died. Can that person ascend or move into the next level from the other side? How does this work?
Ascension is possible from all planes of creation.
Even after death, you don't have to be incarnated to ascend.
You don't have to be incarnated, that's true.
Okay, thank you.
Cobra, how long does it take for light or energy from the galactic sun to reach Earth?
The physical photons need about 25,000 years. Higher dimensional light needs about 0 time.
Thank you.
What would happen to humanity now if the event does not happen?
Without the event, the humanity would go extinct in the 21st century.
Wow.
Well, that's pretty drastic.
Cobra, do the military and intelligence agencies in all countries know about the event?
Those who are high up enough, they know about it, or I would say they speculate about it. They do not have solid intel about it, but they have some guesswork, ideas. The exact, precise intel is high above their pay grade, I would say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cobra, last month you said the Republic and the currency reset will happen at the moment of the event and not before. Do we assume that the mass arrests will happen then also?
Yes.
Thank you.
I have described the plan so many times again already, so I don't think it's necessary to repeat it again.
Thank you. Cobra, is it necessary to clean up the astral level of Earth before the event can happen?
To a great degree, yes, but the problem is not the astral plane so much. The problem is the plasma plane, which has to be cleaned quite much more than it is now.
Thank you.
Cobra, in a previous interview, you said duality will end at the time of the event. Does this mean we will become enlightened at the time of the event?
No.
What does it really mean to become enlightened?
Enlightenment means that you are becoming aware and you come into contact with your own true, real identity, which is the One. So that contact is being made. It does not mean that the whole personality is already transformed, but that transformation can really start at the moment of the event.
So will people become enlightened after the event?
Gradually, yes.
Gradually. How long do you see this taking?
I would say a few years process for most people.
Will there be institutes or schools that will be teaching this process?
Yes, there will be mystery schools that will open after the event and will assist people in going through the process.
Thank you very much.
Have other planets had similar occurrences like the event? It appears that other nearby planets were liberated without the big sneeze from the galactic central sun. Is this correct?
Yes, they were, but this planet is different because there is so much of concentration of various races and of the Cabal here, so there needs to be a little bit more intense support for this to happen.
Are the life forces taking advantage of the energy of the big sneeze to help liberate the planet?
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Cobra, I believe you said once after the event, the human population would be diminished. Did we misunderstand you?
I would say at a certain moment, some people will migrate off the planet, but there will be no mass extinction or anything of that nature.
Why would these people find it necessary to migrate?
Because they will want to migrate. They want to expand. People would like to expand, grow throughout the universe. They will not want to be stuck here. They would like to explore other star systems, contact with other races, and so on.
So when the ETs start making contact, they're going to offer this to the people?
Yes.
Thank you.
How do the souls that are leaving the body now are knowing about the event?
There are spiritual guides on the other side that have the same intel, and they assist in preparation as well.
Thank you. As the situation is increasing, they are receiving intel about the future on planet Earth?
Yes.
Are they going to come back to Earth after the event? These people that are leaving their body now.
If they want to, they can come back, yes.
I have one questioner that wrote, do I have to ascend if I want to stay right where I am now?
No, you can stay as you are. It is up to your free will.
Thank you.
Cobra, the word God is male-oriented. Goddess would be the feminine, the female. Jesus called God our Father. You refer to the source as absolute, universal field of consciousness and the One. How can we envision the absolute in our minds to help us connect and go beyond the masculine-feminine image?
I would say people would need to have direct spiritual experience, and then all conceptions of gender polarity will fall apart. It is not about male or female, it is about all-encompassing presence, which is the source of all positive. This is how I would describe it.
Thank you. They also ask, is there any historical or spiritual relationship between the Ascended Master Jesus and the historical Sumerian Anunnaki being we know as God Anu?
No.
Thank you.
Cobra, these are health-related questions. Have you heard of far infrared ray therapy, and does it heal within the body?
Yes, it can heal the physical tissue.
Do electromagnetic waves, do terahertz waves, have any positive or negative effects on people's health?
Depending on the frequency, on the exact frequency, they can have either negative or positive effect.
Does diatomaceous earth really detoxify the body?
It can help a lot, yes.
Cobra, when I have a Cincinnati stone nearby, my life becomes more challenging. How does this stone affect things?
It can trigger everything that has been suppressed in your subconsciousness for it to be transformed.
So it's happening for a good reason.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Okay, last questions, Cobra. Can you tell us the significance of columbinite stone?
Okay, this stone originates from the Sirius star system and can assist in bringing the energy of divine grace to the planet.
Is that stone available here on Earth?
It is rare, but it is possible to find it.
Can you tell us the significance about the lapis lazuli stone?
This stone can assist in activating the, I would say, the brow chakra, the sixth chakra, and can assist in opening higher spiritual abilities.
I'm very attracted to this stone. Always have been. We are finished, Cobra.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Cobra, for being with us today, and we hope that you have a great October, and
Thank you.
we will see you next month.
Okay, very good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Cobra.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening and watching. Subscribe and share.